Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 6th, 2023 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed in the description box below. Oh, and if you want to check out a friend of mine, his name on YouTube is Eddie's Tarot. Check him out. He will also be linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Aries. Let's see the energy we have to be mindful of during this full moon, and then we'll talk a bit about this full moon as we lay out the tarot. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. Okay, the Prince of Swords reverse. This makes perfect sense. So Aries, as we know, we are in Aries season. We're also starting in April. We're starting the beginning of eclipse season. This is going to be a time with 4 planets in Aries that our warrior pioneering spirit is going to be amplified. A high vibrational energy of Aries is an energy of, I can get anything done. I can, have any plan. I just need to see it. I'm going after it. And it's the new start. It's the new beginning. It's like a new adventure, right? It's right around the corner for us. With the Prince of Swords reversed, be mindful that yes, we're the hero of our own story. And as an Aries, we're very much aware of that. We can kind of get in our own way during this time. We can be too rash. We can not think things through. We can, state something and then think, well, of course I'm going to do that. Even though in our heart of hearts, we know maybe I shouldn't do this or maybe I shouldn't say that. So just be mindful of this. We can also be very kind of taken in by people who state these grand statements, who say these grand things. And a voice inside of us is going to say, they can't do that. But the other voice inside of us is going to be like, but what if they can? Like, let me see what they can do. Let me see how they can push the limits, because that's going to be very intriguing to us. Now, what's also great about this full moon is that this full moon is in Libra. Libra is our sister sign. And just like sisters, our sister signs can bring out the best or the worst in us. But our sister sign of Libra is all about balance and harmony. So we're all about adventurer, pioneer, going out there, getting things done. And Libra brings the balance and the harmony. So just know that we can rail against that during this time, but we need that balance and that harmony coming in. Let's see what energy spirit wants us to be aware of during this time. Angels and spirit guides. Yeah, peace, reversed. We cannot be feeling peaceful. We can be feeling overwhelmed. We can be feeling as if I have so much to prove in such a finite time to prove it in. And that's not true. But that is also because, the sun is conjunct Jupiter. The moon is conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter amplifies whatever it's near. And so it expands the Aries energy. And the Aries energy is, setting great goals and getting great goals done. So we're not going to see this time as a time of, oh, I need peace and harmony, which it is. This is a time of healing and health. But what we're going to see this as is of, intensity and determination. That Libra energy diffuses the Aries energy in us and helps us to move forward. So if you know where Libra lies within your chart, where Libra lies within your chart, that's going to be so helpful. And this is the 7th full moon, the last full moon, where it is in 16 degrees of its sign. So it's in 16 degrees of Libra. And the Tower card is the 16th card in the tarot deck. And so this is a time of profound and intense change, which we can see all around the world. We can also see it within ourselves. We want a change. We need a change. Libra is all about justice and all people having a voice. So that's going to be very, very, very important. The moon is also quincus Uranus. And, no, that's not the right deck. And Uranus is the planet of awakening. So big awakenings are happening here during this time. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. Oh, I love that. So we have the Emperor coming out. The Emperor is us. The Emperor is Aries energy. And this is going to be a time where we're really focusing on our strength, our power. We're crowned here with strength. Strength is Leo energy. Leo is ruled by the sun. This can be a time where we have to just be very mindful, Aries, of being very showy, of being very kind of out in center stage. Lower energy vibration Aries, if we have them in our lives, are people who are very aggressive, quick to anger, short fuse, take things the wrong way, kind of like a Leo at a low energy vibration sign. Be mindful of this, because if we have Leo in our chart as well during this time, Leo intensifies. Like, we just see an intensity here that's going to amplify things for us. I don't know why the sun is just coming through so powerfully. It's like the sun shines here so powerfully, so intensely, that we have to be aware of it. So be aware of this. Be aware that your strength isn't, how much you can bench press. It isn't how far you can run. Your strength is going to be the power of your perseverance. It's going to be the power of your soul. It's going to be saying, you know what? Everybody makes mistakes. You know what? Everybody has a beginning. And the beginning is usually, crummy. It's like when you're making pancakes, right? You don't wait for the pan to heat up. Or if you're like me and you just turn it up really high and think, oh, everything will cook better. We're going to be learning that patience is key. It's just absolute key. And our strength is going to be our patience. Our strength is going to be our understanding. Our strength is going to be that we are adventurers and we need to tap into that spirit. And we can feel rather boxed in by our world because we don't feel like there's a great pioneer spirit, right, going on. We don't feel like we can go and explore an adventure in a way that people did once upon a time, or in a way that made us feel just like we could truly express. We have jobs that keep us indoors. We have, things that keep us on schedules. If you can do something during this full moon, or just during this time of this full moon, so, just during the beginning of April, that lets you feel like you're exploring, lets you feel like you're going on an adventure, lets you feel like you're pushing down boundaries, that's going to be so beneficial for you. All right. It's going to be so beneficial for you, Aries. So have an adventure. Really have an adventure. It's going to be so much fun. It brings us to the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is the fact that we'll get into our own heads just too much during this time. And we have to be aware of that. We'll overthink, we'll overanalyze, we'll read deeper into everything. If we are at a lower energy vibration, which happens some days, like some days you wake up and, who knows why, but you're just angry, you're just upset, you're just frustrated. So that's a lower energy vibration day. You can get really into your head. This is not about the past. This is not about the future. A time of Aries is about the present. And I have to say, you guys are like the best sign of living in the present. Now with the Libra full moon, Libra is a really good sign of living in the past and living in the future. But here, we need to take that balance of, okay, I need to plan for the future and I need to take what I learned of the past to help me move forward. But Aries, we are not our past. Be very mindful. People spend their whole lives in the Eight of Swords energy, reminiscing of when things went wrong, reminiscing of hurts and pains and disappointments, overanalyzing everybody's look, everybody's glance, everybody's words to them, so that it feels like they can't move, or it just feels like the anger just builds up and builds up and builds up. I love that saying, what others think of you is none of your business. And that's just so true. Let others have their opinions. Everybody does. But move forward in your power, because there's greatness there. There's true greatness in you, Aries. Now we have the Page of Pentacles reversed. We're not going to be the best at this time of learning new things to bring in profit. We don't really want to be bothered with it. We can learn new things, we can have it on the side, but this full moon isn't going to be one of like, oh wow, if I learn this craft, or I learn this, I learn that, I can amplify this profit, or I can do this, or I can open up this door. This is going to be a time where we want to take things that we already know and kind of run with them, see and explore with them, push the boundaries with them. So just know that for this time that if you have a lesson planned for, and you can do it on a day that isn't, the 5th or the 6th, depending on where you are in the world, that's what you want to do. You want to do things where, not on this full moon, where it's going to be just harder to learn. This is also a time, again, of health and healing. We're going to see a lot of the things that we have been holding on to mentally, okay, being let go of. We're going to be looking at them and saying, why do I care? Like, why am I holding on to things that happened years and years ago, if not decades? So if you can let that into the universe, if you can say, you know what, take it. I don't need that energy in me anymore. And then if we can also look at things that might have been false starts for profit, maybe we wanted to start a business and it didn't go right the first time. Maybe we wanted this, maybe we wanted that, and I'm just laughing because there's so many things that I still have like in a box to start, like craft wise or, hobby wise. And it's like, oh, when I get there, when there's free time. And it just feels very frustrating and defeating. Like there isn't that free time. There isn't that, that way to express myself the way that I want to. And we can be feeling that. I feel that in a collective, like there's not a way to express ourselves the way that we want to. And then we get frustrated. Just know that this is a time where our time is precious. Our time is precious. Learning new things, putting more things on our shoulders. That's not the way to go during this time. If we can, step back and say, well, I know how to do this. And I can take that knowledge and I can utilize it and move me forward this way. That'll be the best for us. There can also be a very immature earth sign energy around us. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Somebody who's very, I'm going to say petty, or very, very much like a small child. Like, give me, I want. That's like all they know how to say. So be aware of this during this time, that can be very frustrating because you want to provide it. You're going to sit there and say, well, I want to get this done, but it's not working the way that you had imagined. We now have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is the time to learn. This is the time to take in new knowledge. It's not to utilize it and say, oh, well, I can instantly learn this and I'll be able to make it into a profitable business instantaneously. No, this is a time where you take it in, you learn it, you listen about it, you discover this way, you discovered this road, you walk down this avenue, you ask this question, and you become much more nuanced. Now, maybe we think that nuance in Aries isn't applicable to each other, but it actually is, because you can't always do things the same way. You can't always sit there and just use brute force to plow things through. Aries, that's what we do when we're young. We'll sit there and say, well, I can do it. I can get it. And if we have Aries in our lives, we can see them grow and develop and be like, oh, well, I can force it. I can get it. And then as they grow, they're like the most perfect problem solvers and the most logical and down to earth and practical people that we know. And that's tremendous. So here with the Page of Swords, we are also learning our voice. We're learning what we want to say and how we want to say it. We're taking in knowledge at a tremendous rate. We could actually be overwhelmed by how much we're taking things in. Now, Libra is also air sign energy. So this full moon in Libra is teaching us so much. And remember, Jupiter is conjunct Libra. So as much as our get it started, let's get moving, adventure, explorer energy is amplified in Aries, so is our balance, our harmony, our justice. That awakening of justice for all is going to be so important to us. But we have to remember that we can't take on everybody's hurts and pains and disappointments. Especially if you're empathic, you're going to want to take it all in. That's when the Eight of Swords, you get too much in your own head, you're carrying too much, will come in and it will absolutely weigh you down. And this will become a time of sorrow instead of a time of rejoicing. And then we have the Emperor. The Emperor here is you, Aries. This is you in your purest form. You're coming in, you're looking at things. Remember, you're ruled by Mars. Mars is the god of war. So the god of war, it amplifies the energy. It moves us forward. There's a real sense of power here. Mars is out of bounds until May, and that amplifies the energy of Aries. So we are like, listen, I can get this done. I'm moving things forward. I'm going after this. I can see the bigger picture. If we are highly developed, or if we are in a higher energy vibration, it's almost like we can see the map, right? And then we can see it rising off the page, like in movies. We can see it rising off the page. We can see the people moving. We can kind of think steps ahead of everybody else in this practical, down-to-earth, extremely useful way. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. So people say it's the youngest sign, but it's also the sign connected most with this earth. And it's like, okay, well, how can I get this done? It's also a very playful sign. It's also a very, in the energy of the earth sign. Even though it's a fire energy, fire is at the core of the earth. So what we're going to see here is we're going to see that we're much more in the present moment. We're much more in the amplifying moment of where do I want to be? How do I need to move forward? What's important to me? And not in a way that overburdens us, in a way of I'm taking this slice of the pie and I'm going to eat that and enjoy it. Like I'm going to conquer this aspect of things, and then I'm going to move forward and do the rest. It's kind of like, yeah, a pie analogy is pretty good. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to savor this. I'm going to move forward in this energy, and then I'm going to go to the next slice, to the next thing. And I'm just going to be successful, or I'm just going to have like this wonderful feast that I don't sit down and say, okay, I have to eat it all instantaneously. I can eat it over days, right? I can really enjoy my life because I know what I want to do, but I'm conquering each day, or I'm looking at each day and I'm being fully in the present. I'm not worried about the past because that has happened. It doesn't get to define me anymore. I'm not worried about the future because I can't control it. I'm here now and I'm standing up for me. Now, it moves us, okay, to see the energy of the moon. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Now, what's very interesting here is that Uranus rules Aquarius, or Aquarius energy here in both the full moon aspect, I don't know if you can see that, I'll hold it up, in the full moon aspect and in the new moon aspect are reversed. That's the energy of Jupiter. Again, Uranus rules Aquarius. Uranus is the awakening knowledge, big awakenings, big changes coming forward. We can have a bit of time kind of grappling with things, trying to gain an understanding, trying to look at things in a different way, questioning, seeking, diving deeper. So just know that we might feel like, oh, I'm fumbling the ball. Like I'm not getting things to move as smoothly as I want them to. You're doing a really great job, but we're also having a bit of trouble bringing our emotions, especially with love. It says bring love into the situation. And now here we have peace upright. But with our strength, with amplifying our strength, we might not think love is even a part of it. But remember, in Greek mythology, Aries falls in love with Venus. Venus is love. So here we have this sense of peace comes when we acknowledge that love is a huge part of us, that we acknowledge our passion has to do a lot with our heart and not just with our force or our determination or our will of character. It brings us then to a personal issue reaches resolution because we're having faith, because we're looking at a lot of the problems with the Eight of Swords, a lot of the things that we have ruminated over, held in our mind, held onto the past, and we're saying, you know what, no, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not moving forward that way anymore. It brings us then to don't let pride get in the way. And we're going to think if we can't start something instantaneously, it's very much a sense of, well, I watched a YouTube video, I got this, or I read a book, I got this type of thing. And Spirit is saying here, no, it's going to take a little bit more time than that. Be kind to yourself. Your path is going to lead you in a way that if anybody told you, this is going to happen, like exactly how it happens and not in broader strokes, you wouldn't believe them at all. You would think they were absolutely insane. Don't let pride get in the way. Don't let yourself think, oh, well, it has to be like this or it has to be like that. let yourself be open, because the path is going to lead you in a direction that you didn't see coming, and you couldn't see coming. Like, you just couldn't, because spirit, divinity, however you say it, however you see it, has options for you, but also has a greater plan for you that I don't want you to know everything to it. So it says, show the world the real you. Well, you're going to have a bit of trouble with that. You want to show the world power and force and determination and success. And it's not always the vulnerable side of an Aries that an Aries wants to show forward. But let you be truly, lovingly, and powerfully you. Connect with your heart. It brings you your peace. And the void is the quiet. The void is the energy of the new moon. But we have it with the Page of Swords. So as we're learning, as we're understanding, we're actually looking at like a precipice of what we don't know, or what we didn't understand, or what had held us back before. And it's going to call us to be authentically who we are, to be powerfully who we are. And it says you're very close to reaching your goals, okay? But we feel like our growth is stunted. We feel like, oh my gosh, I'm almost there. And what we have to be kind to ourselves with, Aries, as we embrace fully who we are, is that we don't kind of throw the baby out with the bathwater and say, I haven't gotten there, it's not perfect, that's it, I'm done, I'm out. So be very, very mindful of this during this time, that you're shining so brightly as who you are, but you're so afraid of showing who you truly are, because if it's truly and authentically you, like any human has, then if you're putting that energy out, then what is rejected is truly and authentically you. It's not that what is rejected is by people who can't understand and wouldn't understand you at all. So just be very mindful of this during this time, that it's like, Aries, be you. Be powerfully, the word authentic gets thrown around now a lot, but be authentically you. Look at your heart, look at your soul, look at what brings you joy, and say, this is how I'm moving forward. We might not authentically get to be ourselves, all the time. We have, smiles that we have to plaster on and things that we just have to get done. But here, there's a huge power in you saying, this is who I am. This is what I want. And you don't feel like you're growing, but I can tell you, you're growing leaps and bounds. There's going to be like this energy that's kind of like holding you back. It's like holding the back of your shirt and you're trying to run forward, right? Well, you're trying to run forward with such force that all of a sudden the shirt will rip. You'll run forward, but you'll fall because of the force that you were trying to escape the bounds with. And then once you get up, it's like nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. So just be very, very, very aware of that. Nothing's going to hold you back. Nothing except yourself, the Eight of Swords, except your own mind, except letting the past become more real than the present and letting the future become more real than the present. We need to be right now. We need to be in the right now and understand that it's a gift, because it's so easy to understand at times. Like at times we think, oh, I got this. Like we can just wake up getting it one day and then lose it in 5 minutes. So it's something that can be very fleeting, but it's something that is astoundingly powerful. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. There's something here that we tried to do it. We, got our hands smacked. We got our nose burnt, kind of thing. And it's like, I'm not going to do that again. So just be mindful about that. There's something that we want to go after, that we need to go after for ourselves. But because of past hurts, pains, disappointments, we're going to think, oh no, I can't. Yes, you can. Your subconscious message from spirit, here's fairy tales. Connect with the fairy tales again. Connect with the stories that you loved as a child. Because there's a reason you love them. There's a reason you were drawn to them. It'll speak to your soul in a way that, you forgot your soul needed to be spoken to like that. You forgot the beauty of it. So just be mindful of this. That the fairy tales, the stories we grew up with, the way your soul called to them. It's not stories that were kind of like forced on you. It's the stories that you sought out, you read, you said, this is me. You built yourself around. Seek out those stories again. Seek out those tales. They hold a tremendous part of who you are. Our subconscious tarot message is the Ace of Cups reversed. We can feel emotionally very vulnerable. And we can feel like we're not healing emotionally. We're not moving forward emotionally. It's all a lot, but we don't want to show it. We can show that it's a lot to ourselves. We can say, I'm overwhelmed, or, you know what, I need to step back, or I need to take a breather for me. because we can be just vulnerable. So just be mindful of this. Be mindful to be kind to yourself. Be mindful to take it easy when you need to. You have that adventurous spirit, but you have a kind and gentle heart. And you need to balance the both of them, Aries, because they're both astoundingly relevant and prevalent to who you are. Your subconscious moon message is look at the bigger picture. Look at what you're hungering for. Not what you want to prove to everybody else so that they can, kind of shut up and see you as you want to be seen. But what is your soul longing for? What are you longing for? Look at the big picture. Look at what you want and then take aim. Because your aim is going to be very, very true. Remember, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. That Jupiter energy is coming in. It's conjunct the moon and it's conjunct the sun. Take aim. Your aim is going to be true during this time. And be careful what you aim for. You'll get it. Be careful what you're focusing your energy on. You'll get it. But you might not want it once you have it. So just be very, very mindful of this, Aries. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. God bless. Bye.